friends. So my name is Phra Pele is or Phra Katawanno. Or you can call me Phra Pele. Or easier, Thai people usually call me Luangpi Pele. Very happy to be here tonight with you. It's not my first time here. I've been here before as a lay person. This is my first time here as a monk. So I'm happy to be here to share with you a practice called Mahasati meditation. We also call it dynamic or rhythmic meditation. So before we begin, I'd like to get to know a little bit about you also. Can you please raise your hand if you are new to Mahasati meditation? Almost all of you. Okay. Welcome. This is Mahasati 101. Okay. But how about those of you who already been practicing meditation, some kind, any kind, for some time? Anybody? Would you like to share what kind of meditation you practice? Breathing? Buddha? Reciting Buddha? Belly breathing? Anybody?
I do yogic breathing, where you breathe in for a short period of time.
Okay.
Hold the breath, breathe out, and then also leave an empty space for a short period of time. Each one of the short spaces of time are equal.
How about anybody visualize an image when you practice? No? Mic ขยับได้ Can you share what benefit you get from the practice? Anybody?
I do have guided body scan meditation developed by John Kabat-Zinn in Massachusetts. And for me, it's about stress reduction, but it's also about getting present in the moment.
Okay.
And being able to just focus in the present moment.
Okay, that's some of the benefits. Anybody else? Yeah. And do you have any challenges while practicing those meditation? Do you have a lot of distracted thoughts, leg pains, mosquito bites? What else? Okay, okay. 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 That's fine. So you are already practicing meditation, some kind of meditation, and you find the benefits, which is great. One thing you will find in common of these meditations, most of them that you just mentioned, is that you focus on one thing, on one particular thing, right? And when you do that, you also, usually you sit with your eyes closed, right? One of the challenges I'm sure you all get, I got it too, is you feel sleepy, right? And you fall asleep before you realize, oops, I'm supposed to be meditating, right? So these many kinds of meditations are great if you practice them correctly, and they give you many benefits. However, for those of you who want to progress further, to realize higher level of insight, you need to kind of move beyond this sort of calmness or peace of mind. But what happens is, many of us kind of get stuck with this calmness and attached to it. Sometimes you get so deep to your meditation that you don't even realize you're breathing. You don't feel the breath anymore. You just feel so serene, so calm and peaceful. And you just enjoy it. You don't want to get out of it, right? So while it's good, it gives you peace of mind and calmness, but at the same time, it can give you some sort of attachment to that calmness that you don't want to move further. And some people, even once they get out of the meditation cushion, they go back to their normal life. They kind of get really annoyed with the chaos around them. And they want that calmness. So, yeah, these are some of the challenges that I had also when I practiced those meditations, especially sleepiness. Anyway, there's this new, maybe it's not really new, but it's been around for quite some time, but maybe new to many of you, especially you in this room, is this practice called Mahasati meditation. Mahasati is the Pali word. Maha means great. Sati is mindfulness. It means great mindfulness. And it was developed by Luang Por Thien Jittasupo. He lived during 1911 to 1988. And he developed this special technique that helps you to be mindful in a way that is natural or easy. So it is a mindfulness practice, and I guess most of you here already know what mindfulness is. It's being aware of the present moment, of what is going on inside and around you. Why is it important? Because most of the time you're not in the present moment. Where are you? You're in the past, worrying about the future. Maybe you think about something negative in the past, right? Somebody said something negative to you, and it hurt that time. And you keep thinking about it, and each time you do, it hurts you. That person only said that thing one time, done, but it's you who keep picking it up, thinking about it. So Ajahn Paisan like to compare this to like somebody spitting pieces of broken glasses at you, and then it falls to the ground. But then you keep picking it up to your hands, you squeeze it. Each time you do, it hurts. Each time you do, it hurts. That is when you are not in the present moment. You don't know what is going on in the present moment. You keep worrying about the future. When you do that, you're not in touch with the reality, what is there. So mindfulness is to be aware of what is going on in the present moment, inside and around us. We want to not only recognize these thoughts that arise and make us suffer, but we also want to not miss the opportunity to be nourished by the positive elements in life. Sometimes you sit on the beach, supposed to watch the sunset, but your mind keeps thinking about your work, your project, your kids at home, whatever. The sunset is right in front of you, but you don't see it. The flowers on the street side, you walk past them, you don't know it's there. You're not in touch with it. There are many positive elements inside and around us that can nourish us only if we are truly present in the present moment. So it is therefore important for us to practice, to train ourselves to be in the present moment. How do we do that? We do that by bringing the mind back to the body, right? Most of the time our body is here, our mind is where? In the US, in Canada, Australia, somewhere else. So there are ways that we can, there are many ways we can do that. Mindful breathing is one way, and another way that Mahasati meditation is quite special on is to use bodily movements. It's a way, as a way to bring our mind back to the body. The body is like the home for the mind. If there's nobody home to take care of the mind, what happens? Troubles. Troubles. So it's this bodily movement, how it brings your mind back to your body. It's kind of like when you imagine maybe you are daydreaming about something, thinking about something. Suddenly your friend taps you on the shoulder, and suddenly you, that is when you are present. That is when you realize you are there. You're just daydreaming. Your friend taps you. But the practice of Mahasati, you don't need someone else to tap you on your shoulder. It's you. You tap yourself. You make these movements intentionally as a way to waken you up. So in the formal practice, we have these rhythmic movements. In the formal practice, we have these 14 movements that we do. So I like to, maybe we can try to do it together. So let us begin by sitting relaxingly. You may sit cross-legged or on a chair. If you sit cross-legged on the floor, see if you can sit in such a way that your knees are on the floor. It's kind of like, think of a tripod, you know. You back upright and relax, not tense, just relax. If you sit on the chair, please make sure your 2 feet are on the floor. Okay? The same way, just relax, upright but relax. And make the intention to bring your mind to your body. Okay? So be aware of your posture, sitting, and place your hands on your knees, on your thighs. First, you begin by turning your right hand. Your right hand, turn to its edge and stop. Now, raise your right hand to the shoulder level and stop. Bring it to your abdomen and stop. Do the same for the left side. Turn on its edge and stop. Raise it to the shoulder level and stop. Bring it to your abdomen, then stop. Now raise your right hand to the chest level and stop. Bring it to the side, then stop. Bring it down to the side and stop. And turn it down and stop. Do the same for the left hand. Bring it to the chest level and stop. Bring it to the side and stop. Bring it down and stop. And turn the palm down and stop. And we continue. Okay, let's just try to do it together. Each time you move, you're aware of the movement. Left. Okay. You're aware of the movement. You're aware of the stopping. Just aware. You don't need to concentrate on any particular part of the body. Just aware, lightly, of the movement. Very simple. Aware of the stopping as well. Continue. Feel the overall sensations of the body moving. And I forgot to tell you, open your eyes also. This practice, we don't close our eyes. You can move your eyes as natural. Or if you like, you can look at the floor in front of you, about 1 meter or 1.5 meters. It's okay. Either way is fine. The most important thing is just to be aware of the movement. Very simple like that. If any thoughts arise, just recognize it and bring your awareness back to the movement, back to the body. If you're aware of the movement, that means your mind is home with the body. You can feel other sensations that arise as well. If your eye is blinking, just feel it lightly. What arises, just recognize and come back to the movement. Maybe the breathing, you can be aware of the breathing. We don't force our breathing, we breathe naturally. If we can feel the belly rising, it's okay too. Any thoughts arise, recognize without judgment. Just simple recognition and come back to the body. When you do this for the first time, naturally your mind is with the body because you want to do it right. You want to do the correct steps. But after you do for a while, I guarantee thoughts will come. But in this practice, we don't suppress thoughts. We don't try to stop thoughts. Thoughts are natural. What we do with thoughts is, when they arise, we recognize them as they come. Okay. So far, how was it? Easy? Simple? 14 steps? It's very simple. Actually, you don't have to be too serious about the 14 steps, to be honest. These are just means to bring the mind back to the body, like your friend tapping you, but it's you tapping yourself with the movement. You can do any movement you like. You can do Macarena dance, you know. What is it? I don't remember. Kids can do it, you know. Whatever movement, as long as you're aware of the movements. These are just means. And we don't get stuck with the means. Oh, you have to do it right this way. No, sometimes I do it in reverse. Sometimes I start with the left hand first. It's okay. It's fine. You know. This practice, Luang Por Tien emphasized a lot on not concentrating on any particular part. Not concentrating. Some people try so hard, concentrate. They don't even hear a sound outside. They just focus. This is not the goal. This is not the way. We just, whenever the mind is with the body, naturally, you're aware of the movements, naturally. So you don't need to do much. All you need to do is make an intention to bring the mind back to the body. When the mind's with the body, you feel the movement. You feel when the body moves, you know. When the mind moves, you know. The mind moves, what is it? Thoughts. A lot of thoughts. Maybe thoughts like, what kind of meditation is this? It looks funny. It's like, you know, trying to chase away flies. Actually, you know, you do this, you're less likely to be bitten by mosquitoes. You burn more calories. And you open your eyes, you're less likely to fall asleep. And it's actually quite easier to carry it out into your daily life. Your daily life, you do things out there. You know, you move, you walk, right? You sweep the floor. Sweep the floor, that's not 14, that's 2 movements. You mop the floor, that's 2 movements. So, you know, it makes it very applicable. Very applicable. In this practice, we don't use thoughts, actually. We don't use thinking. It's just experiencing it. Experiencing it. I'd like to make an experiment. Can somebody explain to me what it means to be aware of your bodily movements? Please explain what it means. Anybody? Aware of the body. How does it feel? What is it? There's no right or wrong. Don't worry. The camera is not capturing you. It's okay. What is it to be aware of the body? To feel the body?
I feel that when I'm aware of my body, it makes me feel more present.
Okay.
Because if I'm doing something like going for a walk, but I'm not focusing on my body,
Okay.
then it gives my mind more opportunity to think about something else.
Okay.
But the more I'm focusing on my body, it occupies my mind, so it makes it less likely to think about something else.
Okay. How about the feeling of the bodily movement? What does it feel like?
Maybe sometimes like when I go to the gym,
Oh.
I'll think about the muscles,
Yeah.
and then I feel like when I do that, I'm very mindful of, I kind of just imagine it in my head, but then I have a better workout. And they say that if you get to think about the muscles when you're in the gym, you have much, you know, you work out more than if you didn't have that mindfulness.
Okay. I'd like you to put your hand in front of you like that and make a fist. And open the hand, make a fist. Open the hand and keep doing it. Keep doing it. You feel it? And bring it to your back, to the back, behind your back. Keep doing it. And you feel it? That is the awareness of the bodily movement. That is the feeling. Now stop Okay, now is it a fist or is it open?
Fist.
It's a fist. What if I tell you, no, it's open? Do you believe it? Why not?
Feel it.
Because you can feel it. Do you have to think about it? No. It is not about thinking. You don't use thinking in this practice. Not at all. It's experiencing it. Yeah. You don't even see it, right? But how do you know? You feel it. Somebody tell you, you don't believe it. You don't even think about it. No, you feel it. That is the feeling of awareness of bodily movement, being in the present moment. It's very simple. You don't use theory, you don't use words to describe it. You just feel it. Yeah? It's like you try to ask someone to describe what a mango tastes like. 1,000 words not enough to describe it correctly. What's the best way? Put in your mouth. Eat it. Don't need to think about it. So this practice, drop the thinking. Drop. But when I say drop the thinking, that doesn't mean we try to stop thinking that arise. They are like guests that come and go. They come and go, yeah, naturally. And the thinking, we don't try to suppress them. Some practice, you try to suppress, you try to stop the thinking because you want to really focus. But this practice is not like that. You allow them, you welcome them, but you need to be there to recognize them when they come. At the beginning, maybe you lost in your thinking a lot. Maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, then you realize, oops. But the more you practice continuously, the shorter the time you dwell, you caught up in thoughts, you recognize it more quickly. The time is shorter and shorter and shorter. And then you're no longer a victim of your thoughts, of your thinking. Many times we carried away by our thoughts. Not only it makes us suffer, we also sometimes we follow the thoughts. We react to it. Immediately we react rather than we recognize that, oh, it's just a thought. It is not a reality. But most of the time, we keep thinking, we caught up in it, and we believe it, that it is true. You worry about something in the future, something bad's gonna happen, you worry, and then the day comes, nothing happens. And all those days, you spend suffering for nothing. But if you recognize the thought, that it is just a thought, that is gold. That is very valuable. So this practice helps you to be able to recognize thoughts quickly, and to see that it is just a thought. And when we are able to recognize it, then we are able to reflect on it, how to respond to it wisely, right? Or rather than reacting to it, which we all know, it not only causes us suffering, it also causes others suffering. Sometimes we jump into conclusion. Yeah, these kind of thoughts I'm talking about, these are unintentional thoughts that arise during the day. I'm not talking about thought when you do your work, you plan and solve problems. Of course, those are useful. But also, we can recognize as well what are the basis of these thoughts. They don't just come from nothing. You know, they come from maybe fear, maybe anger, maybe anxiety, whatever. Yeah. So not only thoughts that we recognize, we also recognize feelings. Yeah. That is part of the mind. The body and mind are linked together. When the body is with the mind, then the mind knows what's going on with the body and with the mind. We keep practicing like this. Later on, later on, you will be able to differentiate the actions of the body and the actions of the mind. But this is not through thinking. This, it will reveal by itself. This is one of the first milestones in the practice. And you keep practicing, cultivating awareness like this. Later on, you'll be able to realize the impermanence nature of things, the suffering nature of things, and the non-self nature of things. Yeah. I'd like to share with you, there's a man, a disabled man. His name is Ajahn Kampon Thongbunnum. Anybody heard of his name? Maybe Thai people. Yeah. He passed away maybe about 8 years ago. Yeah. He was disabled of Luang Por Kam Kien. And Luang Por Kam Kien is one of the senior disciples of Luang Por Thien, who developed this technique. So Ajahn Kampon, in his 20s, he had an accident, and a serious accident, which made him paralyzed from the neck down. So he was not able to walk or go to the toilet by himself or eat or anything like that. So he suffered a lot for many years. And his father bring him Dharma books to read, to try to help him suffer less. So he reads and reads and reads, and it did not help him much until one day he wrote a letter to Luang Por Kam Kien and asked him whether a disabled person like him can practice. And Luang Por Kam Kien wrote back, yes, you can practice. And then Luang Por Kam Kien taught him how to practice through letters. And Ajahn Kampon said, but he was not able to move his hand. He could not do the 14 movements. What should he do? Luang Por Kam Kien asked him to move whatever movement he could do. All he could do was just like that, just turning his palm like that. And he was bedridden, sometimes on a wheelchair. He kept practicing like that. Slowly, slowly, he realized that he suffered less and less and less. And eventually, after 1 month of continuous practice, he declared himself that he resigned from suffering. If you meet him in person, you'll be so inspired. He is a disabled man, yet his face was so bright and shining and smiling and looked so happy. So obviously he could not do the 14, but he just do that. The essence of it is cultivating awareness, not to complete the movements. He just did like that, 1 month continuously, of course, but he dedicated like all day. He did that all day. And it was much more difficult for him. You can imagine bedridden doing that, how sleepy it would be. Even he opened his eyes, but keep doing that. But yeah, he is someone that a success story when I see him, and just an inspiration immediately, because look at myself, fully healthy, but not as happy as him. He's a disabled man. So, and later he became an inspirational speaker, and he teach the Dhamma to many people. Monks come to him too, to learn. So it doesn't matter that you are a lay person, any gender, or even you disabled, anything you can practice. It doesn't have to be formal practice. It can be informal practice. And informal practice doesn't have to be moving the time, all the time as well. You can be breathing as well, no problem, breathing. I like what Ajahn Chah said to someone who complained to Ajahn Chah that he has no time to practice. And Ajahn Chah said to him, do you have time to breathe? If you answer yes, you have time to practice. Just be aware of your breathing, that's all. When you're aware of your breathing, you bring the mind back to the body. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be movement. It can be breathing. It can be anything that brings your mind back to the body. Yeah. So this is a technique that we do. Some people think when they see this, they think, oh, it doesn't look calm, it doesn't look peaceful, it looks funny, I'm not going to do it. Actually, the aim of this practice is not calmness. That's not calmness, that is not the aim, to be honest. But as you practice being aware of your body, the movement, calmness arises. There are two kinds of calmness. The calmness that is we call samatha, or when you focus on something very tightly, very focused and concentrated. That kind of calmness you come. Sometimes people get some bliss and jhana and high level of calmness like that, but then many of them get stuck and attached to it, don't want to move on, and get annoyed when it's not calm. But another kind of calmness that comes with the awareness of the body, with the awareness of the movement. You practice for a while, you will, oh, okay, I feel calm, actually. And this kind of calmness, the good thing is, you're aware of what's going on. You're aware of what's going on. It's the alertness. As you do this, often, more and more, you will be able to recognize thoughts that make you suffer. And more, you'll be able to recognize positive elements in life as well. You will see flowers like for real. You feel alive. You feel alive. Many of us, we walk as if we're not alive, as if we're like a zombie. We walk, but our mind is somewhere else. So maybe let's try practice for a little more. Let's practice together in silence. it's important to relax your body while doing it. Just enjoy each movement, one movement at a time. When the hand is raised, you're aware. When it stops, you're aware. We also open ourselves up to surroundings, sounds, sight. We open up, aware of inside and outside, the body moving. We hear sound of the traffic, we're aware of it. And then come back to the movement. We find a balance of not concentrating on any specific body part, and also a balance of not allowing our mind to dwell in thoughts. We allow thoughts to come, we just recognize it and come back to the movement. We see the thoughts, we don't become the thoughts. When we see something, it means we separated from it. We no longer caught in it. You can smile at thoughts. Hello thoughts, you know you're there. Then just come back gently to the movement. We don't need to judge ourselves for having a lot of thoughts come up. We don't need to judge ourselves for judging ourselves. In fact, when we judge ourselves, we smile to that judging. It is also a thought. We come back to the reality, which is the movie, this moment. We let go of any expectation for the result or desire to gain something in the future from the practice. Just enjoy being in the present moment. In fact, expectation is an obstacle to gaining insight. We just enjoy moving. When you do it correctly, you feel light. Actually, you feel light. You enjoy doing it. But don't worry whether you do it correctly or not, because if you worry, that's also a thought. Recognizing it without judging. This is called mere recognition. When the body moves, we know it. When the mind moves, we know it. Feelings arise, we know it as well. Some pains in the legs arise, we know it as well. Of course, you can adjust your posture mindfully. So we're not practicing to torture ourselves. Feel free to adjust your posture if you feel some pain. But maybe before you change your posture, recognize, see if there is any inner complaint. Ouch, it hurts, ouch. Recognize that too. That inner complaint. You have the physical pain, you don't want to add the mental pain to it. When you recognize the inner chatter, the inner complaint, actually you see it and it disappears. You're only left with the physical pain, which you can relieve by adjusting your posture. You can do this while standing up or lying down as well. Just the same movement. It's okay so far? Easy enough? Simple enough? Yeah. Anybody sleepy yet? No? That's good. Is it clear so far? Yeah, how to do it? So I like to maybe, I want to show you the practice of walking meditation as well, but looking at the number here, maybe we cannot do it. So maybe I can demonstrate. The practice is similar. Use the same mindset. In fact, what we're doing here, this is walking meditation with your hands. Okay? You do the same thing with your feet. So maybe for those who are watching on Facebook Live or YouTube, you can follow. But for those of you here, maybe that's the limit of the room. Breathing it really. So the practice of walking meditation in this tradition is very simple. You just walk naturally without, you don't walk too fast or too slow. Just walk. You may hold arms on your chest like this. You may hold it in the back. Or you may let it loose. Either way is fine. All you need to do is make the intention to bring the mind back to the body. When you do that, you're naturally aware of your body moving, your legs moving. You don't focus on the details. You don't put your mind at your right foot or your left foot. Just feel the overall sensations of your body. Not the details. You may find a path which is about 5 or 7 meters long, where you can walk back and forth. And you may move your eyes naturally, or if you like, you may look on the ground in front of you, about 1 and 1.5 meters. Either way is fine. Just walk relaxingly, with ease, naturally. Be aware of the body moving. Be aware of the legs moving. You feel the eyes blinking also, be aware of it. Be aware of the breathing also. Any thoughts arise, recognize it, and then come back. Come back to the body moving. At the turn, when you turn, also aware of your body turning. There's a good thing about turning. Sometimes as you walk, you are caught up in thoughts, in long thoughts. Suddenly, the turn, oops, come back to the present. The turning can be a reminder for you to bring the mind back, not get lost in thoughts. So as beginners, when you do this, normally you're still mindful, you're still aware of your body moving, your legs moving. After a while, thoughts will come up. It's okay. We don't suppress, we don't stop thoughts. We just recognize and come back. So you keep practicing like this, then slowly, slowly, the time that you are caught in thoughts will be shorter and shorter. It's not how many thoughts you have that is a good thing, or how little thoughts you have is a good thing. No, it is how quickly you recognize thoughts. You recognize it quickly, come back quickly, you're doing well. Very simple. Just walk naturally. All you need to do, bring your mind back to the body, and then the awareness will arise by itself. Do not concentrate. Just overall awareness of the body moving. You can relax, you can have a little smile while you do, so you can enjoy each step. Each step, enjoy. One step at a time, enjoy. Enjoy. Enjoy the present moment. No matter how long you walk, how many minutes, hours, you go nowhere. Keep walking back and forth, unless your mind goes somewhere. But you bring your mind back to your body. You are living in the present moment. And the good news is you can bring this practice into your daily life. You know, when you leave this room, this is kind of like a meditation room, you can call it. But naturally, meditation room, people come in and meditate and practice, and you feel kind of, oh, I'm mindful, right? But I've seen many people, as soon as they leave this room, leave the meditation room, they're another person. Okay, forget mindfulness. No, this kind of practice, you leave this meditation room, you enter another meditation room of the world. You step out of that door, you continue, walk mindfully. You don't have to walk slowly like this. You do everything as naturally as you normally do. All you have to do is add mindfulness into it. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. You go to the bathroom, you're also aware of what you're doing inside there. In fact, this practice has a source. Of course, the Buddha did not teach do this. No, he did not prescribe this. But there is a section of the Satipatthana Sutta, which is the 4 establishments of mindfulness discourse. There's a section which is the section of awareness of bodily movements and postures, bodily actions and postures. And it says something like, a monk is aware when he is walking, when he is lying down, when he is sitting, when he is speaking, when he is putting on his robe, when he is carrying his alms bowl, when he's turning left, when he's turning right, when he is bending his limbs, stretching his limbs, whatever he is doing, he is aware. Even, and it mentions specifically, even when you are urinating, defecating, you are aware. So don't think the toilet is just a toilet. That is a meditation room too. Every opportunity you do is an opportunity to practice mindfulness. And the key is continuity. Obviously, it's more difficult to practice continuously when you're out there. And that's totally understandable. We don't expect you to do this all day long. You know, it's not possible. But you can add these little drops of water into the buckets. And one day it'll be full. These little drops. Don't move your body freely. Don't waste your movement. Add awareness into it. Don't waste it. Yeah. One time, a monk disciple asked Luang Por Tien, how long, how many hours a day should I practice these movements? You know what Luang Por Tien answered? All day long, 24 hours. And he also says, practice playfully or lightly, but seriously. Lightly or playfully, it means relaxingly. You know, when you do, you relax, you enjoy it. But seriously means you do it all day long. He doesn't mean do this all day long. It means every activities you do. Open the door, closing the door, go to the bathroom, everything mindfully. Yeah. So this is one of the advantage that I find in this practice, because you can carry it out into your daily life. You open your eyes. So nobody can complain. You don't have time to practice. You can bring awareness to the breathing as well. You breathe all day long. But the thing about breathing is, if it's in sitting, formal sitting meditation, many people find it, the breathing is subtle. And it's very conducive to sleeping. But the moving is more coarse. It's more gross. What's the word? You know, you can feel it more obviously. Yeah. Me personally, in formal practice, in daily life, I do both. I can be aware of my breathing. I can be aware of my movement. And actually they complement each other. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Just add little drops of water like that. Obviously, when you're on a BTS or MRT, you don't want to be doing this. Some people will call police. You don't want to do this. But you can do this. You know, just rub your thumb with your index finger. There's another tiny movement. It's like tapping on yourself. Or just follow the breathing. Or just do like that. Or just feel the eyes blinking. You know, be creative. Be creative. Anything you do. When you wash your dishes, be aware of the movement and enjoy it. Enjoy being in the present. Another tip is to slow down a little. Slow down. Whatever you do, slow it down a little bit. And it makes the awareness more clear. More clear. Of course, when you do slow down, you do it in such a way it does not disturb other people. It's not like you go and walk in meditation at the easy BTS station and you create traffic jams there. No, you walk naturally. You walk without form. You practice without form. You're still practicing, but nobody knows you're practicing. You're just aware. Your friends don't even know you're practicing. You don't need to show the world, I am a practitioner. No. Just enjoy whatever you do. Or you can use, you may need reminders. Reminders. What I like to use as reminders, this is what I learned from Plum Village. I was ordained in Plum Village for 8 years. Thich Nhat Hanh, we call him Thai. He teaches us to use a bell of mindfulness. And when you hear the sound of the bell, you bring your mind back to your body, you're aware of your breathing, and you relax. That is when you are in the present moment. But when you don't have the bell at work, you may use other things like the honking, car honking, or ambulance siren, or you can use any sound. Actually, you can download Mindful Bell apps nowadays into your laptop, into your smartphones. You can ping every 10-15 minutes or randomly, or you can just set it to vibrate. That is a reminder to bring the mind back to the body. Many sounds you can use. At the monastery I stay, I use nature sound. Gecko, you know gecko? We have a lot of big fat geckos. And yeah, many Thai people don't like them, but I use their sounds to remind me to be mindful, come back to the present moment. A dog barking, any sound, or you can use some, like when you touch water, you go into the bathroom, you feel the water, it's cold. That can be a reminder. Or, you know, Thai people, we bow. Every time I bow, it's a reminder for me. Body and mind in the present moment. Thank you. Every time you bow, it's to remind yourself. You don't do it mechanically. You know, make it useful. Make it something to remind yourself to be mindful. You can set a path. Let's say at home, from your bedroom to your bathroom, that short path. You make a determination that every time I walk on this path, I will walk mindfully. Yeah. We don't have to set a big goal that I will be mindfully 24/7. That's impossible. You can start small. Just this path, okay, I will be mindful every step. I will enjoy each step. I will be aware of my movement. All the time, other parts, I'm mindful, it's okay. But this part, I will be mindful. I promise myself. Just a small part like that. Or from your work office to the bus stop, I will walk mindfully. In fact, Thai, Thich Nhat Hanh, he shared one time that in his dwelling, his kuti, there's a stairs. Every time he walks on that stairs, he will walk mindfully. If while he was walking on that stairs, he's not mindful, he will stop. Maybe he will be mindful, then continue. Something like this can help you to cultivate mindfulness more and more. So there are many ways you can apply it in your daily life. This practice is not only limited to the formal sitting or the formal walking. You can do it all day long. Breathing, I practice that too, because I'm afraid people will call police if I do this on the BTS or MRT. You do it without form, and you will see the result yourself. You will see. At least you will be able to recognize thoughts and recognize it as a thought. It is not a reality. as a thought, and then you have a space to choose to respond to that thought wisely or to react to it. You have that power. You're no longer a victim of thoughts, of feelings. But the important thing is to recognize these things without judgment. Without judgment. Mere recognition. Very important. So far, is it clear? Sleepy yet? If you're sleepy, recognize that sleepiness. If you're bored, recognize that boredom. Okay? Everything that arises, recognize it too. While you're practicing, recognize it. If you're bored, you recognize, and actually you may even want to observe that boredom. That boredom. And it can become interesting because the boredom arises, the boredom stays, the boredom fades. Oh, it's no longer boring. Sleepiness as well. Sleepiness as well. Sometimes while you're doing it, even you open your eyes, you still feel sleepy sometimes. But you don't fall asleep, of course. You open your eyes. You observe that sleepiness without judgment. Without judgment. Anything, we tend to try to push away things we don't like or grasp something we like. But the practice is mere recognition. Anything you like, you watch it, you observe the liking. Anything you dislike, you observe the disliking without judgment. You can smile at it, befriend it. Don't fight. You don't turn yourself into a war zone. You recognize, you befriend with it, but you don't attach to it. Guess maybe if you have any questions. Yes. Please wait for the microphone. While you're thinking about work. Oh, okay. Okay. So just to repeat your question. The question is, while you're working and you think about work, you do things, is it possible to recognize your thinking, right? I see. Or to be mindful while you're actively working the problem. It's possible. Maybe not in the moment of your thinking, but maybe during the work, during the time you're thinking, if suddenly there's a reminder, a bell, a dog barking or whatever, that moment, maybe just a short moment, you can come back to your body. When you come back, then you realize the thought, the thinking. Yeah. And it may even help you realize what is behind that thinking. Is there anger? Is there fear? Is there biases? Yeah. Is there fear? When you recognize that, then you can adjust to think in such a way that it is what in Buddhism we call right thinking, samma vaca, thinking without revenge, without hatred towards another person, thinking with loving kindness, compassion, etc. So usually this kind of thinking that you do at work, usually that's not a problem that causes suffering. What I'm talking mainly is the negative thinking, the unintentional thinking that arise. Those are the ones that cause a lot of suffering. But the intentional thinking, we can be aware of it also from time to time. Sometimes you're working in front of your laptop. You really immerse yourself in it. You don't even remember you have a body. And that is when the mindful clock app is helpful. Just ding, and then suddenly, okay, time to breathe. When you breathe, you're aware of your body, you're aware of your mind. Oh, my shoulder is tense. Suddenly you realize, then you relax. Okay, maybe drink some water, maybe I'm a little bit stressed, I go to the bathroom, wash my face a little bit, you come back refreshed. So moments like that, you can use these kind of reminders. And it has worked for me also. Sometimes you are like really thinking about work, about something, but maybe agitation arises, and then suddenly the bell sounds, ding, and then, oh, okay, now there is agitation in me, there is some irritation, okay, I need to step back a little bit and reframe that thinking, maybe something not quite right, just reflect. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Yeah. No. That moment, you have to be present on your math problems. That is a practice also. You're not like distracted. You're not like, yeah, this and that. If you're focused on your work, you are practicing. You pay attention to what you are doing. You're being in the present. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so just to repeat the question is, what do I mean with the word judgment when I mention judging? Practice mere recognition without judging. Yeah. What I mean is, of course, like exactly like what you say, liking, disliking. Usually, suffering arises when the things we like change, or we separate it from the things we like, or we encounter things we don't like. That brings us suffering, right? But when we recognize that judging, the liking or the disliking, we separate ourselves from the reality. The liking or the disliking is what brings us suffering. Like for example, I don't like the fact that when I practice, I'm not mindful. I have a lot of thoughts in me. I don't like it. I'm such a bad practitioner, such a bad monk. I'm judging myself. I don't like that. I don't like a lot of thoughts. I don't like the fact that I'm a bad practitioner. When you recognize that judging of the disliking, and you recognize that judging and then see, oh, it's just a thought. That judging is just a thought. Or, on the other hand, if I like something, I'm such a good practitioner. I'm so proud, I'm a perfect practitioner. That is also judging in the way of the other way. You also see it as a thought. But judging can also be like this self-criticism. From time to time, I judge myself for judging myself. That adds suffering to the suffering that's already there. It's not helpful. And you recognize it as a thought also. That is a thought that arises. It's a guess that comes to our mind. It comes, it stays, and it goes. It goes more quickly if you see it. Because once you see it, it's like I see this cushion. When I see it, I'm not the cushion. I'm not the cushion. I'm separated from it. When you see like a bonfire, you see it separate from it. You're not it. But if you're in it, you burn. You separate yourself from it, then you find. You see it comes, you see it stay, see it goes. But if you don't recognize it simply, merely, like you kind of playing with it, you see the thought, oh, such a bad thought, da 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 da. Oh, actually maybe that thought is, oh, okay, this and that. You kind of like, you're not recognize it merely. You not just see it as a thought, but you add your comments to it, and it goes on and on and on. And stories become longer and longer and longer. But if you see, oh, thought, oh, hello, thought, no, you're there, goodbye, let go. You see, and let go. See it come, let go. See it come, let go. Actually, you don't have to intentionally let go. The moment you see it, it's quite shy. It doesn't like to be seen. When it's seen, it goes. Try it for yourself. Yeah. Is that clear? Okay. Traffic jam. Right. Maybe just to add to the traffic jam thing, I think we all experience that living here in Bangkok. Obviously, you recognize that frustration. You recognize it, and you see it as a guest to your mind, just like that. You don't say it is a good guest, it is a bad guest. It's just a guest. It comes. It arises in the mind. And if your awareness is strong, and it will slowly disappear. But most of the time, our awareness is quite weak. But our thoughts, our feelings are stronger than our awareness, and it takes control. It overpowers our awareness. That's why Luang Por Thien, he likes to compare this to a rat and a kitten. A kitten trying to catch a rat. What ends up is it gets dragged by the rat. The kitten is like our awareness. The rat is like our thoughts, our feelings, especially negative ones. Big rats, tiny kitten. What our job is to keep feeding the kitten, make it grow bigger and stronger. So one day it will take care of the rat easily. Yeah. Our awareness is tiny. We make it strong by cultivating awareness, day in, day out, bit by bit, one drop at a time. The bucket will be full, little bit. Yeah. So this is a training. It is a practice. It's not you press the button, ta-da, it works. No, it requires training. But this kind of training, you can do it with joy. You know, you don't treat it like a hard labor. You work so hard, sweat and all that in order to gain something in the future. What a waste of time. But what if we treat it as something you're having fun with, you enjoy doing it? You know what? It's win-win. You're happy the moment you do it, and the end result is good. But if you do it with hard labor, you suffer, but the end result may or may not work. Actually, it's not a very good method. Yeah. So the practice can be enjoyable. Some people who work out in the gym, when they do it regularly, they actually enjoy it. And if a day they don't go to the gym, they something wrong. It is not easy. In no way this is easy. This is retraining ourselves, a new habit. It's like learning to, let's say if you're right-handed, you brush your teeth with your right hand, now you're learning to brush your teeth with your left hand. At the beginning, it's not going to be easy. Of course, there will be sleepiness, there will be boredom, there will be frustration, this and that. But, you don't give up. Keep on doing it. And you do it, okay? Maybe today I'm not so mindful. It's okay. Try it again tomorrow. Start by small path. Okay. I promise myself I walk mindfully. I know a monk who is so busy with the monastery work, but he promised himself that whenever he wake up and fold his blanket, he will put 100% of his mind into his blanket folding. Become spiritual practice. Just this simple act like that. It's just blanket folding mindfully. Start something small like that. Then you expand a little bit. Eating, mindful eating, my favorite practice. Most of us, how do we do it? We eat, phone. You don't read newspapers anymore, right? Now it's the phone, iPad, iPhone. Look at the television, look at that. When you do that, or you're eating, you're thinking about your project. You don't even know what you are eating. In fact, you're not eating your food, you're eating your project. You're eating your worries, you're eating your fear, your concern, whatever. Then suddenly, oops, empty. You forgot what you just put into your mouth. So you cannot have an excuse that you don't have time to practice. At least everybody eats. Set the time to eat in such a way that you're aware of every mouthful you eat. Chew your food slowly, aware of every movement, aware of every taste. Texture, it's crunchy, it's sweet, it's salty. Look at it, it's rice, okay, eat. Enjoy every moment, I'm eating rice. Okay. Then you will suddenly realize, you chew it for a little while, rice is sweet. But many of us don't even realize that. We eat, chew, swallow, rush. Okay, now next, done. What a missed opportunity. It is not a chance to nourish your body. It is a chance to nourish your mind as well. You add awareness into your mindful eating. That little drops of awareness, you keep adding. And it nourishes your mind, nourish yourself. And you will enjoy your food much more, I guarantee. Try. Drop your project, drop the phones, drop the television, just eat. Eat in silence. Try. When I was a novice monk at Plum Village, we were trained to chew the food at least 30 times before we swallow. You're really aware of what you are eating. Try that, just chew it a little slowly and feel it, what you're eating. And you will appreciate just a simple piece of carrot. It's become very delicious because you're eating that food. You're not eating your thought. You're not eating your projects. You're not eating your worries. So there can be many moments of practice you can do in your daily life. You have a question? just to repeat that question, if it was me, get stuck in the traffic for 45 minutes, what would I do? I'll be honest with you, I'd get irritated too. But I recognize that irritation. I don't suppress it. I'm a human. Monks are human. Monks have feelings. We get frustrated. We have all these feelings like you all. But we try to recognize it, and smile at it if you can. Say hello to it, and then you come back to what is there in the present moment. The present moment is not only traffic jams. The present moment also the ability to recognize of the many wonderful things that you have. For example, you have this body. You have healthy body. You have good eyes. I am happy, my eyes are in good conditions. Many of us don't recognize that until we lose it. So, in fact, if we are mindful, we will recognize the many good conditions that we have already inside and around us. We just don't recognize it. We can use that time, 45 minutes, to just enjoy breathing. Okay, irritation, I know you're there. I take good care of you. I smile at you. Now, take a deep breath. Breathing is very helpful. Just relax your body. When you're in a bad mood, your body maybe tense up. So you can take that time to come back and enjoy the breathing. Feel the lightness of the breathing or the shortness or whatever. Just come back to the present moment. Or you can turn the hand. In the car is okay. Nobody will laugh at you. You can turn, you can just do like that. Just be aware. Or if there is somebody in the car, you can appreciate their presence. You can appreciate their presence. You can think of many positive things. Maybe traffic jam can be good in the way that it gives you time to talk to your loved one in the car, to appreciate their presence, instead of just get stuck, traffic, traffic, traffic. What you end up is you just add suffering to yourself. Why not use that opportunity to do things that is pleasant for you, that is helpful? Things like that. I hope that's helpful. I guess it's time. Last thing, I have a little gift for you. If unfortunately, I only have 12 copies. So if you like to learn a little bit more about this practice, these are books you can read. It's called To One That Feels, written by Luang Por Tien himself. He did not write it. It was from speech and translated. So feel free to take these books. How do we do it? First come, first serve. Put it here. Don't rush. Just walk mindfully and grab. But don't worry if you're not able to take one. If you're not able to take one, you can download the PDF version on the website, which is posted in the front. Okay. So Best will post it on the website, right? Or on the Facebook. Okay. So you can download the PDF. Not only these books, but other English books in the Luang Por Tien tradition. ไม่เป็นไรก็ได้ชาวต่างชาติเนาะไม่เป็นไรจบเลยก็ได้ meditation retreat meditation retreat feel that it reflect you like you find